up? If there's one thing I love more than growing flowers, it's picking flowers to give to other people. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to pick some daffodils. I know it sounds simple, but these are just some tips that I've gained along the way that might help you too, and I wanted to share. One thing I really like about daffodils is that they are everywhere, at least where I live, and even if you didn't plant them, there's a good chance that you can find some growing wild. True, they aren't necessarily fancy, but regardless, they're the first flowers I see in spring, and I need that color. There are tons of different types of these things, different shapes and sizes, but we're just going to look at a couple today. We'll get into that later. The vase life for these is probably about 3 to 6 days, but there are some things you can do to make sure they last as long as possible. One way to have more time to enjoy your daffodils is to pick them before they actually bloom. Now I know that sounds a little bit strange, but some flowers actually keep opening up after you pick them, and that's exactly what daffodils do. If we look at this bud here, you can tell it's not quite opening yet, but it is big and full and the color is starting to show. That tells me that there's a good chance that if I pick this flower, it's going to go ahead and open. And if I give it a little bit of a squeeze, I can tell that the petals are nice and fluffy in there and they're not tight and the actual bud is not hard. So I'm going to pick that one. If we take a look at this picture, you can see this flower has a nice color. The bulb is full. And if you look at this sheath, I guess you'd call it a sheath. I really don't know what it's called, but it's pulled back. That's another signal that tells me that this can be picked. It's going to open up in my vase for me. The more you do this, you get a better sense of what will and will not work. So it really is trial and error. If you want to pick some daffodils, go ahead and experiment and see just how closed the bud can be before you can pick them. I'm going to go ahead and pick this one. Sometimes you'll be successful and sometimes you won't. But the more you do it, the more you'll get a feel for it. In terms of actually picking flowers, there are a couple ways to go about this. One way is to go in, follow the stem down, and just twist and pull with your hand. Since all parts of this plant are toxic, it's important to know who's going to be around your flowers after you pick them. Is it going to be your pets? Is it going to be your kids? It's something to keep in mind because you want to keep everybody safe. Daffodils can also cause irritation to your skin. So if you're going to go out and pick daffodils, it's a good idea to wear gloves. Okay, so now that we've cut these daffodils, let's go ahead and talk about getting them ready for a vase. You may have already noticed that there is a gross, sticky sap running out of the plants. Don't get this on your hands. It will irritate it, like I said earlier. But in addition to irritating your hands and your skin, you stick these in a vase with other flowers. The other flowers are not going to be happy either. So what we need to do is we need to condition these daffodils before we put them with any other kind of flower. Now if you're just going to have a jar of daffodils on your table, you're good to go because the daffodils aren't going to bother each other. Since I want to put these with some anemones, we've got to do something about this. All I'm going to do is stick these daffodils by themselves in a vase for about 4 to 6 hours or maybe even overnight. So after I do that, I can put the daffodils into the arrangement with the other flowers. Just make sure not to recut the stem. So really the main takeaway is that daffodils make awesome cut flowers, and I think they're really great to have in the house or to give to somebody. Just make sure to be extra careful around your kids and your pets. Make sure that you wear some gloves when you pick them and arrange them. Don't touch your eyes, that kind of thing. Just common sense precautions and you'll have a beautiful arrangement for your table. I hope this video was helpful and I hope it's sunny where you are and I hope you're having a great day. Bye guys.